What's up, everybody? Your boy Mel here with another review, and today I'll be talking about thoughts on the animated DC Universe film Batman: The Long Halloween, released back in 2 years ago as a two-parter. The first part released back in June 27th of 2021, and the second part in July 27th that same year. A deluxe edition combining both films was released back in September 20th of 2022. And this is the 42nd animated film of the DCUA, or DC Universe animated original movies, serving both as third of the fourth installments of Tomorrow's Verse. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, well, each murder story reveals a holiday of each calendar, so yeah. Batman: The Long Halloween is based on the graphic comics written by Jeph, Loeb, and Tim Sale. They also did another one as well called Batman Haunted Nights, which is similar, like a 3-part, I think. Because I read the comic, I have the original one, the one that came out in the 90s. Thank you to my cousin, because he gave me a bunch of comics from the 90s, and that was included. Unfortunately, one of my little cousins ripped the page from the first part, which got me pissed off. Following the escaping of the Scarecrow from the custody of the police. And this is a doozy, because... And also the Long Halloween comic one as well, the bigger one. And there's a whole lot of differences between the comic and the movie. I'll explain why. The ending's more different than the one in the comic. So yeah, the film was directed by Chris Palmer and starred the voices of Jensen Ackles, Naya Rivera, Joss Duhamel, Billy Burke, Titus Wilbur, David Damalachin, Troy Baker, Amy Landegger, Julie Nefanson, Jack Quaid, Fred Tatasciore, and Alistair Duncan. The film is dedicated to Rivera, as it was her final film role before her death in 2020. In both parts of the film, Batman attempts to unravel the mystery of the murders committed on holidays throughout the year and uncover the true identity of the serial killer Holiday. Which, yeah, it's a whole doozy, I'll tell you what. Sorry, folks, I need to check something here first. About this Rivera chick. But before we start out, let me talk. Okay, it was produced by Jim Krieg once again. Sorry. And Kimberly S. Maru. Edited by John Soares, and music by Michael Gratz. Which, the last later is date, remember, is pretty confusing. For part 1, it has a running time of 85 minutes, while part 2 has a running time of 87. Combine them both, they have a running time of 168 minutes. Shit. I mean, literally. Oh, okay. It says here that Rivera drowned at Lake Piru near Santa Clarita, California, while swimming with her 4-year-old son. Following a 5-day search, her body was recovered from the lake on Monday of July 13th. At the time of her death, she was between the seasons of the television series Setup, in which she played Colton, the female lead. Ooh. Damn. Rest in peace. Yeech. Yike. Pity. I haven't seen her photo. She's kind of like attractive, but damn. Gone too soon, people. But back to the review. As you remember, because this is the difference between the comics and the movie. we did get an opening sequence. Well, okay. This we give you a heads up between the comic and the movie. We have to start with the original source, the comic, which oh boy, I think this will be a 40-minute video. But yeah, we'll start with the cast first before we talk about the comic. Appearing on both parts of the film, we have Jensen Ackles as Batman, aka Bruce Wayne. We have Zach Collision as young Bruce Wayne. Joss Duhamel as Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. We have Billy Berg as Commissioner Gordon. Naya Rivera as Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. Alistair Duncan as Alfred Pennyworth. Troy Baker as Joker. And another character called Anthony. David Dutchman as Julian Day. Calendar Man. Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. Amy Lamdecker and as Barbara Gordon, and Carla Vitti. Julie Nevenson as Gilda Dent. Gary Leroy Gray as Officer Peirce. Fred Tatasciore as Solomon Grundy. Large Triad, and Vincent Falcone, aka the Falcon. No, they call him the Sicilian or the... Shit. They give him a nickname, the Falcon. The Roman, that's what they call him. No, wait, no. That's actually Carmine. Never mind. Scratch that. I think that's one of his sons, I think. We have Jim Perry as Sal Maroni, aka Arkham Guard, and Thaddeus Wilver as Carmine the Roman Falcone, and Luigi Moroni. And we got ones who appear only in part 1. Francis Carrier as Nurse Tamara, Greg Chun as Mickey Chen, and Jay Quad as Alberto Falcone. And appearing from part 2, we have Lolia Berz as Sofia Falcone, Alicia Diaz as Renee Montoya, John DiMaggio as Jerbs Tech, aka Mad Hatter, Robin Atkin Downs as Dr. John McCrane, aka The Scarecrow, aka Thomas Wayne, Katie Sackhoff as Dr. Pamela Isley, aka Poison Ivy, and Rick D. Fisher as Bodyguard. Flash and Green Arrow make a non-speaking cameo appearance during the second part's post-credits scene. The film was officially announced in August of 2020 during the Superman and Men of Tomorrow panel at DC Fandom. To people, what is this about? Well, I feel about to sneeze again. As you know, this is the difference between this and the comic, but before we begin, we'll start with the comic. First released in trade paperback back in, it had like a 13 issues before it became one back around the 90s. I cannot read code. That's the problem. Fuck. As you know, it became a 13-issue comic series issues that was around published in 90s comic around 1996 to 1997. Which is followed to the 3 Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween specials, which were reprinted in Batman Haunted Night, which I have that. I want to see if they can make an anime movie of that as well. Yeah, there's some awesome scenes right there to be in the movie. By the same creative team, the series successfully led Loeb and Sarah return the sequel, Batman Dark Victory and Catwoman When in Rome, which are set concurrently. Taking place during Batman's early days of crime fighting, The Long Halloween tells the story of a mysterious killer known as Holiday, who murders people on holidays, one each month, working with District Attorney Harvey Dent and James Gordon. The race against the calendar as he tries to discover the holiday is before he claims his next victim, while attempting to stop the crime war between Gotham's most powerful family, the Maroni and the Falcone. This novel also acted as a reintroduction to the DC universe for one of Batman's most elusive foes, Calendar Man, who knows the true identity of Holiday Killer, but refuses to share this with Batman. He instead riddles and gives Batman hints from Arkham Asylum's cell. The story also ties the events that transform Harvey Dent into Batman's enemy, Two-Face. The enemies such as Scarecrow, the Joker, Mad Hatter, Poison Ivy, and the Riddler are among those who make the appearance. In continuity terms, The Long Halloween continues as the story of Batman Year 1 for the characters of Batman, Gordon, Catwoman, and Falcone, and is considered to replace the earlier effort of Batman Year 2. In the characters' continuity, it also revolves around the transition of Batman's rogue gallery from plainclothes, real-world style mobsters to full-lit supervillains, and tells the origins of Two-Face, incorporating elements of the story in Batman Annual Issue 14. Holy shit. Which was the cover number, the cover was written by Jeph Loeb, and the art style by Tim Sales. Letters or comic craft by Richard Star Kings, colorist by Gregory White, and editor by Archie Goodwin and Chuck Kim. Oh boy. There's been a lot because, okay, I'm not going to talk about the plot, but how long is it? A bit long. Okay, but back to the movie. Bob do some back and forth, which the same thing the plot of the movie. This time we have the opening sequence where we meet the Falcon meeting with Bruce Wayne in his at Wayne Manor. Talking about the time they made a little deal, because remember, there was a flashback scene where when Bruce was a boy, his father, Thomas Wayne, who was still a doctor, received answer door. It was actually the Roman's father begging for Wayne to help his son, who was wounded by gunfire, and he performed surgery, where Bruce walks into the room where he meets the Falcon during his younger days, asking him if he trusts his father. They have family is very important, which of course, yeah, the loyalty, including the loyalty that his father, the Falcon's father, and Thomas Wayne did. They made a hospital, which was by both the Wayne industry and the Falcone family. Made a big tie. And also, it's a long story because we have some flashbacks of the different stories about each character in the movie. Plus, the animation is pretty good because some are sticking to the original characters' designs of each of the villains, based from the art designs of Tim Sale. But yeah. And also, we see this little team-up romance between Batman and Catwoman. The usual. It caused a mystery between why Catwoman has a hinge with the Falcone family for some reason. Which we targeted first we start part 1 on Halloween. John Vitti, nephew of Gotham City mob boss Carmine the Roman Falcone, is murdered by a mysterious figure who leaves a jack-o'-lantern at the crime scene. Since Vitti was about to turn the state's evidence against the Falcone, Gotham PD, Commissioner Gordon, Captain James Gordon suspects Carmine himself being responsible. He summons DA Harvey Dent and Batman to investigate the murders and bring down Falcone, which was a promise in the rooftop. Catwoman leads Batman to Falcone's cash stockpile, with Dent following. Based on a coin flip, Harvey decides to burn the money rather than move it legally and risk Falcone stopping them. In retaliation, Falcone hires Tyrant member Mickey Chen to bomb Harvey's house. Both Harvey and his wife, Gilda, survive, but Harvey is hospitalized. Batman chases Chen down to the sewers, where he runs into Solomon Grundy. Batman convinces Grundy to spare Chen and take him to Gotham PD for questioning. Lacking evidence of his involvement in the bombing, Batman and Gordon are forced to let him go. Gordon advised Batman to learn more about being a detective. Because remember, this is during his rookie days. On Thanksgiving, Falcone's son Alberto sends Harvey a mocking "Get well soon" card in his father's name. Angry Falcone for pressuring to speak for him, Falcone strangles his son and reminds him that he is too weak to inherit the family business. Harvey escapes from the hospital and meets Gordon, who gives him a gun for protection. That night, Chen and his associates are killed by V's murderer. On Christmas Eve, Gordon and Batman question Calendar Man in Arkham on the identity of the murderer, who has now been nicknamed Holiday. Calendar Man names Falcone, Sal Maroni, and Harvey as suspects and calls Batman's war on crime a joke. Batman then realizes that Joker has escaped from Arkham, not wanting Holiday to replace him as Gotham's most notorious criminal. Joker confronts Harvey in his house and threatens to kill Gilda if he is proven to be Holiday. Batman visits Maroni, who has also attacked by Joker. Maroni advises Batman if Joker is on Holiday, he will eventually target Falcone himself. Joker harasses Falcone, warning him to not divulge any new information about Holiday to him. Falcone's bodyguard, Milo Grappa, chases Joker out of the building, but is killed by Holiday soon after. In the Batcave, Batman identifies Maroni, Falcone's sister Carla Vitti, Joker, Falcone, and Harvey as suspects, but Batman gives Harvey the benefit of the doubt, based on the fact, although he is obsessed with taking down the Falcone and Maroni crime families, Dent was denied a pistol permit due to his psychiatric evaluation of wild aberrations and doesn't own a gun. Bruce Wayne attends a New Year's Eve party on the yacht celebrating Gotham's Children's Clinic, hosted by Falcone, which was the one that both built by Batman's father, Thomas Wayne, and the Roman's father as well, as their trust and friendship. Falcone, who calls out Bruce during his speech as the son he never had, angering Alberto. Bruce meets with Selina Kyle, who calls off their relationship due to their conflicting secret identities. Joker attempts to gas the New Year's Eve celebration in Gotham Square using a stolen plane, hoping that Holiday is among the crowd. Meanwhile, Selina meets with Alberto to learn about the Falcone family. Alberto laments about never being respected by his own father, who also ejected his fiancée from Oxford University. Batman foils Joker's scheme when Joker remarks that he loves a good puzzle. Batman deduces that Alberto, who benefited the most from killing his father's enemies, is known for his love of puzzles, is the killer. Returning to the yacht, Batman accuses Alberto of being Holiday, targeting his father's associates to gain power within the family. Alberto angrily denies wanting control of the family business, citing he no longer wishes to be in his father's shadow. As the year starts, Alberto is shot dead by Holiday and falls into water, where his body is cut to pieces by the Jeph propeller. Batman pursues Holiday, but the killer manages to escape via a speedboat. As the ship is evacuated, Gordon and Harvey meet with Batman. Batman tells his allies to sign a protective detail to Falcone. In a post-credit scene, Bruce attends Alberto's funeral. Falcone approaches him and requests Bruce help in money laundering his money, but Bruce refuses. Bruce is then introduced to the woman accompanying Falcone, who shakes his hand. Vines emerges from under her sleeves to grip Bruce's arm, turning his eyes green, indicating that Poison Ivy has taken control of him. Which leads to part 2. 3 months after the death of Alberto, Holiday Killer has targeted the Falcone and Maroni families on Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, and April Fool's Day. Meanwhile, Bruce has signed much of his assets over to Falcone under Poison Ivy's influence. Catwoman defeats Ivy and rescues Bruce. On Mother's Day, a tea house in Gotham's Chinatown was revealed to be a front for a black market for stolen guns, and the murdered owner Chung was supplying firearms to Holiday. Scarecrow escapes from Arkham when Batman intervenes. Scarecrow injects him with fear toxins, forcing him to relive the night that his parents were murdered. Catwoman finds Batman in the alleyway and brings him home. Hold it. Sorry. Sorry. Damn. Hold it. Someone's saying, sorry people, my allergies are driving me crazy. Falcone's daughter, Sophia, asks for a seat in the family table, but he refuses because, well, there are two versions of this. In the comics, she is welcome in the table, while here, she's not because she's a woman. And a woman has no place in the main room where business has always been held, at the family table. Gordon and Harvey question Bruce about Holiday, citing his family's past connections with Falcone. Bruce recalls how, as a boy, he met Falcone when his father saved his life following an assassination attempt by the Maronis. On Father's Day, Maroni's father, Luigi, is murdered by Holiday. Catwoman witnesses Falcone paying a hitman in the cemetery. Maroni meets with Harvey and agrees to testify against Falcone in exchange for immunity. On the 4th of July, Batman is captured by Scarecrow and Mad Hatter as they rob a bank for Falcone. He escapes and defeats them as they drop off the cash in the cemetery. On the boardwalk, Falcone's hitman attacks Harvey and Gilda during the fireworks display. Catwoman intervenes, but the hitman knocks out both of them. Harvey awakens to find the hitman dead and one of Holiday's guns nearby, and he flees as the police arrive. Falcone's sister, Carla Vitti, publicly accuses Harvey of being Holiday. While Harvey has Maroni in court, Batman meets Gordon and reveals that he found Holiday's gun in Dent's basement and an Oxford University pennant. In the middle of the court, Maroni accuses Harvey of being Holiday and throws acid in his face. Harvey is hospitalized. It's kind of funny, sorry, because I have to rewind this scene. Sorry I had to bring this movie up, but if you'll remember Batman Forever, there was a scene where we meet a gangster who throws acid at Harvey, the Tommy Lee character, which, sorry to bring that connection, and realize they put that scene there. But yeah, back to this. Which, of course, after the acid attacked, oh boy. Keep losing track for some reason. Okay, but he escapes and is picked up by Falcone's men. Harvey realizes it's a trap, and the two men are here to kill him for Johnny and Alberto's death. Harvey kills his guards and flees into the sewers, where he is neutered by Solomon Grundy. On Falcone's birthday, Carla is killed by Holiday in the elevator. Wow. On Labor Day, Harvey and Grundy attack Maroni's prison convoy. Disguised as Maroni's guard, subdues Grundy, but Maroni is shot by Holiday from another building. Harvey, Grundy, and Holiday escaped. At Wayne Manor, Alfred prepares for another Halloween while Bruce questions his motives for fighting crime. Alfred assures him that regardless of his parents' connection to the mob, they would be proud because, well, that's what happened to them. Yeah, we know. It's been repeated a bunch of times. The origins of Batman. His parents were killed by crime, and he wants to end crime in Gotham. It means becoming what he feared most. Sorry. Back to this. Batman asks Catwoman about her obsession with the Falcone family. She confesses that Falcone is her father, and she only wants to know her mother's name, which that's the major spoiler that she's actually the daughter of the Roman, but she wants to know who's her actual mother. That's a good question. Harvey now calling himself Two-Face, and Grundy attacking Arkham Asylum, and freeing several inmates, including Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and Mad Hatter, which engaged the Gotham PD, while Two-Face, Grundy, Joker, and Penguin attacked Falcone's building. They overwhelmed Falcone's guards and Sophia, and the Two-Face prepares to flip the coin to decide whether Falcone lives or dies. Batman and Catwoman arrive and defeat the rogues, but are unable to prevent Two-Face from shooting Falcone. Distraught, Sophia jumps out the broken window and kills herself. Catwoman reveals her face to Falcone, who says Louisa before dying in Batman's arms. Two-Face turns himself over to Gordon and claims responsibility for all the holiday killings. In Dent's basement, Gilda burns her holiday items while Batman looks on. Harvey Dent was a Gotham U graduate, but Gilda went to Oxford at the same time Alberto went. She confesses that Falcone had annulled her marriage to Alberto and had the child aborted, rendering her infertile because Carmine would not allow a child born out of wedlock into the family, and Alberto was made a disgrace. Later on, she moved to Gotham and married Harvey with hopes that he and the law would bring down the Roman, but numerous failed attempts drove her to become a vigilante, because of a wedlock, she came pregnant out of marriage, and she was forced to have an abortion by the Roman. Fuck. Damn. That explains why Alberto was a disgrace because of that. Back to what I was saying. As holiday, she exacted revenge against the entire family, and killing Alberto and the Maroni family was a bonus to eradicate any connections to her past and throw suspicion off her and Harvey, because in the end, she still loves him. Gilda asked Batman how he figured it out was her, and he responded that when she killed Maroni and Two-Face prevented him from pursuing, revealed Dent figured it out, and was when he found out about the guns in the basement that he knew nothing about it, and the way he was willing to take the fall for her. She ensured Batman that holiday is finished, and she asks would he tell Gordon, but he doesn't answer and leaves. On Halloween, Alfred, with a bowl of chocolate bars in his hands, holds out for trick-or-treaters. Bruce predicts that there will be no visitors. Wayne Manor then receives its first trick-or-treaters. Selena is revealed to be together with Bruce and mock Bruce previously expressed skepticism. Alfred opens the door to children dressed as Batman. In the post-credits scene, the doorbell rings again, and Alfred opens the door to Flash and Green Arrow and informs Bruce of their arrival. And for Candy as well. And there's a difference between this and the comic, because remember, the ending's different. Let me explain why. This is what happened in the ending. In the ending in the comics, Gilda is packing boxes to leave Gotham, but takes one box to her furnace, containing a pistol, a hat, what appears to be her husband's clothing. As she burns the items, she thinks about how she took it upon herself to start the holiday killings and tried to end the Falcone's hold on Gotham and reduce her husband's workload. She had wild suspicion that Alberto was lying, instead of choosing to believe that Den himself had taken up the killings of New Year's Eve, and the two were finally working together by sharing secrets. Nevertheless, she is content with Alberto as the scapegoat, knowing the authorities are incapable of finding the other holiday killer without Dent on the side of the states that she still believes her husband can be cured. If you didn't know, in the common version, Alberto faked his death, and he, along with Gilda, exact revenge, which he's now in prison. What you see here, Alberto can delay his execution based on his sanity. So he lives, but he's in the asylum to delay his execution to play crazy. While in the movie, he's dead, and the real holiday killer is actually Dent's wife, as revenge against both the Falcone family and the Maroney family, destroying her life, with Alberto including what they had. Damn. As the release date, Part 1 was released on June 22nd of 2021 on digital download, DVD and Blu-ray. Part 1 was delayed due to the release of the live-action Batman film, The Batman, and was originally supposed to launch the new animated continuity that originated in Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Part 2 was made available for online streaming on July 27th and later DVD and Blu-ray on August 10th. Happy birthday to me. A deluxe edition was released in September 2022, combining two parts into one. As for the reception, on the review of, the unholy Rotten Tomatoes, Part 1 had approval of 100% based on 19 reviews and an average of 7.7 out of 10. Part 2 has also 100% based on 13 reviews and 7.9 out of 10. Jess Shane of IGN rated Part 1 out of 8 out of 10. Batman The Long Halloween Part 1 may not quite meet the high standards as Justice Society World War II, but it was a well-crafted adaptation to revamp the DCAU line. It's faithfully adapt the comic book source material while veering on its own direction at a time. It's difficult to imagine adaptation working nearly well as Warner Bros. Animation tried to cram the entire Long Halloween into one movie. With any luck, Part 2 will be just as successful. Again, this time reviewed by Zaki Hansen for Part 2, a 9 out of 10. Its compelling story adapted to character performed with conviction taken together. Both parts make for not merely one of the best film Batman animated movies, but one of the best Batman movies, period. William Fisher of Collider negatively compared the film's visual design to more detailed and stylized artwork of the comic story arc, while acknowledged that the film's animators work under different constraints and illustrators. Part 1 earned $659,000 from domestic DVD sales and $2.9 million domestic Blu-ray sales, bringing a total of earning of $3.6 million, while Part 2 earned $454,000 from domestic DVD sales and $2.1 million in domestic Blu-ray sales, bringing a total of $2.5 million. With Ackles reprised the role of Bruce Wayne and Batman in Legion of Superheroes, which is the set in the Tomorrowverse. But yeah, people, and those are my thoughts on Batman The Long Halloween, and let me know what you think of this iconic two-parter into one. To tell you the truth, if they actually made a full movie like the same way, imagine this was released in theaters It would have been like the Mask of the Phantasm. Actually, you have a good story. Plus, and remember, the comic is more different than the movie because he did a lot of changes just to throw off people, to make it more interesting. Like killing off Alberto in the comics, he faked his death to murder his father for what he did. Well, in the movie, he actually died in the end of part 1 by Holiday. But yeah, and it goes to reveal that Selena in this one, she's actually the daughter of the Roman. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below and tell what was your favorite scene from The Long Halloween from both parts. But until then, and remember, our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers, or at least 500k, because by May of this year is our 11th anniversary from 2013 to 2023. So let's just make this happen. And also on April, during Comic Con week on Puerto Rico Comic Con, I'll be at Puerto Rico Comic Con this April, which would be awesome. I'll be selling my stickers, personal artwork. If you guys want to take photos with me, that'll be awesome. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Peace out. Now I'm falling.